If it's a quiet night out at the beach and your ex-old lady suddenly out of nowhere shows up with a story about her current billionaire land developer boyfriend and his wife and her boyfriend and a plot to kidnap the billionaire and throw him in a loony bin,
I need your help, Doc.
maybe you should just look the other way.
Hi, I'm Yuval. I'm here with Ohad.
Hey!
This is live movie review. We just came out of the movie Inherent Vice.
Yeah.
Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
Okay, so I thought that the movie was exhausting. Actually, it felt like if you took the movie Big Lebowski and you stripped all the humor from it and the chemistry and the funny bits between characters and put in a plot from a book from Agatha Christie.
You thought the movie lacked humor?
Yeah. I
Okay.
thought that it didn't lack humor because there are funny scenes in the movie, but it lacked comedic interaction between characters.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I thought that okay, this movie reminded me a lot of Big Lebowski, but in Big Lebowski, the plot is not the main issue of the film. It's more about how the character interacts with other characters and his life. And in this movie,
Do you think the plot is an issue in this movie?
I think that the plot is too thick in this movie.
What do you mean?
I mean that about 20 minutes into the movie, I had to say to myself, okay, Ohad, concentrate. There's a lot of information, and every 5 or 10 minutes, a new character or a new plot is added in, and about about an hour and a half into the movie, they start talking about this character, and you asked me, who is this? And what's his role in the movie? I mean, is he important? And I didn't know. I forgot who it was. And it turns out that it wasn't very important, but I don't think I think that the movie was too serious and the plot was too intricate.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't enjoy it because it made me think too much about trying to figure out the plot myself.
Yeah. Okay, my impression of the movie that it was some kind of a fusion between a stoner movie and a detective movie. Obviously, the plot surrounds like this private detective who is like a hippie. All of the movie happens in the 70s. The drugs and smoking and weed and all that.
And heavier
and all
drugs.
those things is a main theme in the movie, obviously. And the first 30 minutes of the movie felt fun. It felt light. I disagree that the movie lacks humor. I mean, it has weird, very weird, twisted humor. But again, it relates to this is, I think, part of the stoner movies genre, where the hallucinations and the state of minds of the characters are somehow integrated into the story and the plot and the technical aspects and the photography. This is like a common aspect in this genre, and it is apparent in this movie as well. And yeah, the first 30 minutes of the movie felt fun, felt light. You didn't have you still didn't have to concentrate too much. You just, because it's the beginning of the movie, and as the movie progresses, you assume that all those loose ends would somehow tie together. But as the movie progresses, there seems to be more and more loose ends, and you get lost completely. And the movie becomes too long, and something that at the beginning feels like it's working. You go with it, you flow with it, you accept it at the beginning, and as more and more of the movie goes on, you lose it. You don't want to see it anymore. It becomes cumbersome, tiresome. There are like 30 different characters, I think, in the movie, and like you said, at the beginning you try to force yourself to concentrate and understand, and then you just give up. And about the last 30 minutes of the movie, I just wanted it to finish.
You said that it felt like a stoner movie, or maybe themes, but I thought that as a stoner movie, it took itself much too serious.
And I disagree on that point.
I mean,
obviously it has like comedic self-awareness.
Yes, it has
seriously.
very, very funny bits, but as a movie, I wouldn't consider it as a comedic movie.
Whoa.
Are you all right?
Am I?
Are you?
Ordinarily, we're the ones asking the questions.
And your question is, which side am I on?
Good question.
Wrong answer.
And these kind of movies,
You consider Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas as a comedy?
much more than this,
No,
and the Big
not.
Lebowski.
Well, comedy is not the right thing to say. I think
It's not a comedy, but I would compare this film more like the Big Lebowski, which is about a guy who gets trapped into this intricate conspiracy plot.
Yeah, but you're talking
And-
about the story. I'm
No,
talking
I'm
about
talking-
the style.
The style, I didn't think it.
If I would compare it to a different movie, that would be Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Even though the plot in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas becomes transparent and non-existent as the movie progresses, and in this movie, it tries to still exist. I think.
I think that Fear and Loathing, the plot is not the issue, as you said,
Yeah.
but it's more of the style and the interaction of the character with his sidekick character and the other characters. And here, you have to focus on the plot to understand what's happening, and it's almost impossible
Yeah.
because there are too many characters, as you said, and almost each and every character has its own subplot.
Yeah, but there is like this other semi main character, Bigfoot, like, and their interaction that you mentioned. I think we can compare to the interaction between the main character here and that character, Bigfoot character.
Choto, Kinichiro, Dozo, Moto Panakeku, Moto Panakeku, Moto Panakeku, Hai, Hai, Hai.
It's not a main sidekick character. He appears
Yeah.
here and there, and their scenes are good. I mean, maybe their scenes together are the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah, I understand the comparison to Big Lebowski. There are many similar points in the protagonist. This guy who is like always stoned and doesn't necessarily understand every time what's going on around him.
Yeah,
What's
but
the reality that surrounds him?
yeah, but I think that unlike the Big Lebowski, in this movie he is a private investigator, and he does try to figure out everything.
Yeah,
And in the Big Lebowski, he doesn't really care.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the charm of that movie.
I agree. That's a point that makes Big Lebowski much more watchable and lovable.
And also, I thought that the technical things. I mean, I think that every scene is like close-ups. Too many close-ups.
It's like
Yeah, it's too close.
Big
And
Lebowski meets Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
meets Agatha Christie.
Yeah, meets Columbus, the TV series.
No, that was great. I think. Yeah, I think that. Look, I don't know if I would recommend. Would you recommend seeing this in the cinema?
No, I don't recommend seeing this movie. I think at all. I mean, you lose it if it's a movie that loses you, like mid movie, then it's not. I don't think this movie is watchable. I think it's unwatchable. It was hard for me to sit through the end, and if I had a choice, I think I would stop in the middle. Most likely, if I would see this movie on TV on some random channel flipping, I would probably,
Give
change
up?
the channel. Yeah.
I think that they wasted great actors with.
I don't want to say wasted, because
No, I mean no.
the
What
performances in the movie was
that's
pretty
what
good.
That's what I want to say.
Pretty
They
great.
took great actors, but they gave them characters and dialogues that are boring and don't have chemistry. And I think that if they took themselves a bit less seriously and gave maybe the actors more, I don't know, freedom, maybe it could have been a bit more entertaining or
Yeah, I think
upbeat.
this is interesting because in its own, the scenes, the dialogues, the acting, the performances, the direction, everything is okay. It kind of works and it's very consistent. But the wholesome of the movie, the scenes together are boring as a story. I mean, like if you take it every scene in its own, I would watch it. I mean, it's interesting to watch, but as a whole movie and a whole story, it's too cumbersome and tiresome.
I think
And there's something very interesting about this movie.
I think that this movie would have worked as a series,
Yeah, maybe.
because maybe even as a 6-hour miniseries, like 2-hour episodes,
Yeah.
because there are so much stories in here, and it felt like they tried to pack everything in, and it didn't work.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Might have worked as a TV series, as a miniseries, but as a movie where you have to sit 3
maybe
hours
maybe
straight.
as a Twin Peaks meets
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
Lebowski.
Yeah, Twin Peaks meets Big Lebowski.
If you feel like seeing good acting, and you don't mind, and you like very intricate movies with very difficult plots, maybe you like this. I wouldn't see it in the cinema. I wouldn't see it on TV. I think it's exhausting to sit through it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this movie.
Yeah, me too. I agree. So I think that's it.
Yeah,
See you next time on our next review.
bye.
Coming just in time for Christmas.